Well, unfortunately for us, Felmus 3 has failed. Was it a lack of interest? Was it changes? Was it Gummy himself? No one really knows because everyone's saying a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but either way, the one Blizz-like TBC server that was pretty much on the market, well, the newest one rather, has crumbled and now there's less than 50 people online at any given time. So it is a little bit of disappointment there for the fans of Burning Crusade expansion. There are, of course, other ones out there, though not as well known, or people are just ready for a fresh server, right? Fresh! So, I'm here to tell you that there is a new, fresh TBC server on the horizon, which actually is from an older developer, older as in these guys have been around for a while and have had servers for a while, but they're coming out with a new server that will be TBC, mostly Blizz-like. However, there will be some changes. Now, whether it's for the betterment or the detriment of the server, I'm going to let you guys decide that. I'm just here bringing you the news. Anyway, the server in question is going to be from Endless, which is, again, a well-known private server group, and the new server itself is going to be called Sunfury, which is naming itself a modern TBC experience. Now, they are right now in a beta, and by beta, it's really a playtest area. You can't really do much in the world itself. You're kind of constricted to an area. I'm going to have a video coming on that later on. Either way, they are planning for their initial release date to be October 20th at 1400 CEST. I don't know what that translates to in America time, but you could translate that on your own. Anyway, it's 1400 CEST. Now, the realm type is going to be PvE with opt-in PvP with incentives, which is very similar to Turtle WoW, which is a PvE server that you can turn on a war mode and get benefits to increase leveling rates and yada yada. So that's basically what they're going to be doing. Another change is that there will be cross-faction play enabled, so you will be able to chat, group, trade, join guilds, participate in raids, battlegrounds, and arenas as cross-faction, as well as auction houses. So that's all gonna be in there. They talk about that a little bit more down here, of how it's going to work out with the PvP. Now, the experience rates, it's going to be ×5 experience rate with an extra 20% from kills and 5% more damage done while flagged for PvP in the open world. So that's your incentive right there. Your professions for vanilla are going to be ×2 in leveling rate for the vanilla ones. The TBC ones, which is from 300 to 375, are just going to be normal experience gain rate. And then honor rates are going to be ×3, with the exception of weekends, where it's going to be ×4. The client version is going to be a 3.3.5 client, which is a Wrath of the Lich King client. However, they've changed it and adapted it to be TBC, with modern features, which they're going to tell you right here. Now, this is, again, a new thing. This is not Blizz-like, but you're going to be able to choose your racial ability, which for, I guess, PvP and in some cases raids, that is a mandatory factor when picking your character, at least for the min-maxers, right? If you're just a player, it doesn't really matter too much, but for those people, you know, you want to have that one ability to get out of any CC, right? That only humans have, so you must go a human. Anyway, this one, which I'm kind of like about, is auto learning, which means all of your skills, ability, weapon skills, class skills will be learned automatically, and some things like the mounts will be automatically learned at 30 and 60, so you do not have to spend money at trainers. Dungeon Finder will be available for both the vanilla and the TBC content. There will be a free dual spec at level 40. Triple spec will also be available at 40 in the Endless store. So a little bit of, I don't know if that's considered pay to win or not, but you can pay for triple spec in their store. But you will get a free dual spec once you reach level 40. 3v3 arena will be solo queue, which is completely fine. I'm completely fine with solo queuing arenas. I don't think they're going to be as, what's the word for it? You're not going to get as far if you're solo queuing with randos as you are with a group that you know and built yourself and stuff. So I don't really see that as an issue for the hardcore PvP players, but it allows for the more casual players to get in there and play a little bit here, a little bit there, without having to commit to a not raid group, a arena group rather. Transmog will be available. Every item you've equipped will get added to your collection. So only items you can equip, which I wonder if that means if you're a plate wearer and you equipped a cloth item, if that will then become available. I'm not quite sure. It says more details will be disclosed in the upcoming post. So we'll learn more about that too. Now, the 3.3.5 quality of life features include trading of raid-bound items, enchanting vellums, as I said, vellums, arena unit frames, accurate threat data, and many more, which I guess that will come up in a future post. Now, early content release schedule. Tier 4, which is Gruul's Lair, Magtheridon's Lair, and Karazhan, will be released on the next raid reset after the Realm's release, which is going to be Wednesday, the 25th at 1800 server time. The reputations Ogrilla, Shatari Skyguard, and Netherwing hubs will be available at launch. Items such as the Deathblow X11 goggles, this one and this one will be available at launch. So I'm not versed in TBC as much, so I don't know what this means for itemization at all. TBC is, out of the main trilogy, is my least favorite expansion, but anyway. PvE. Increased content difficulty. More details will be included in an upcoming post. Attunements will be required for each content tier release, but will be lifted in advance before the next tier launches. So in order to do certain raids and dungeons, you will have to do their attunements to get into them. However, when tier 5 comes out, the attunement to get into Karazhan will be lifted and you no longer have to do that. I think that's completely fine. A little bit of ease of access for the people who are catching up and trying to get to tier 5 while everyone else is already moving on to tier 5. That I feel is a good middle ground for allowing players to easily catch up without just giving them gear like they do in retail, you know what I mean? Heroic dungeon keys will require honored instead of revered. That's completely fine. I don't really care that much, to be honest. Daily heroic quests will be available at launch, which is completely fine. Tier 4 bosses will drop tier 3 tokens, one of each type. I guess that's okay for transmog purposes. I mean, I don't know why they would, but for transmog purposes, you know, go ahead. I don't see an issue with it. Karazhan will reset twice a week like Zul'Aman, so that means more people will be able to get in and do Karazhan, which it is the entry into raid, so I feel that's completely fine in order to get geared up to a point where you can do the actual tier 4 raids. Cooldown reset. Player cooldowns up to 10 minutes will reset after each encounter ends, or resets in 25-man raids. Which, it's completely fine. That means you can continue on raids faster. You don't have to sit around and wait for cooldowns, which is completely fine with me. Now, changes to the PvP. PvP reputation sets will be available on release with honored reputation requirements. Daily battleground quests available at launch. Arena Point Flush happens twice a week, Wednesday and Sundays at 6 a.m. server time. 2v2 and 3v3, why am I having issues with this? 3v3 bracket award, increased arena points, 2v2 awards points equivalent to 3v3, oh my god, fucking hell, 3v3, and 3s will, award points equivalent to 5s. Okay, so the awards for the arena brackets have been increased to what the one above it originally would have give, which makes me wonder what the 5s would give. Anyway, cross-faction battlegrounds, allowing same faction matches and mixed faction teams for lower queue times, with race appearance adjusted according to the team that you're on. So when they say same faction matches, that makes it sound like it's alliance versus alliance, but then down here it says your appearance will be adjusted according to the team you're on, which means as you queue in, if you're a horde player and there's not enough alliance players, it'll throw you into the alliance and turn you into a human, which the technology does exist in TBC because of Caverns of Time. So if that's the case, that's completely fine. I actually would want other servers to implement this as well, just for lower queue times. That just makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know why servers with changes don't already do this, but anyway, your character's appearance will match the racial ability that you've chosen. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're, a horde player, if you're a Tauren instead of choosing War Stomp, if you chose Berserking, whatever, how that would translate, but because Berserking is a orc, maybe it'll be equivalent to a human, so it'll turn you into a human, and then if you choose Every Man for Himself, it'll turn you into a human, or if you choose Stone Form, it turns you into a dwarf. There's a lot of values into that, so I'm not sure how that will work exactly, but because of this, that means whenever you do turn into Alliance or Horde as the other faction, then you will be the exact same race every time, probably with the same values in terms of the appearance, so you will look the same every time. I think that's what Caverns of Time does, roughly. Anyway, cross-faction arena. You can play with the opposing faction of players, but your racial ability will temporarily change while joining arena. More details will be disclosed in an upcoming post. Anyway, so a lot more details to come, and I may or may not cover this in the future. Again, like I said, TBC is not my favorite one. However, it is a private server, a new, fresh one, so I plan on covering it for as long as it's relevant. And on that note, when it does come out, I feel like I might give it a shot. I didn't try Felmus, again, because I don't like TBC, but it's not that I hate it. So I feel this one right here, with the increased experience rate, I might as well jump in and reminisce in the nostalgia a little bit of TBC. So, yeah, October 20th, you can expect me to check it out. I will also be making a video, I have the launcher right here, of the testing and how well it plays. That video will be releasing after this video. And if you want to see more Sunfury from the Endless team, you can go ahead and like and subscribe this video. I have their Discord channel linked in my Discord channel, so you can find a link for that in the description below or on my channel. Hop into mine, and there is an entire channel filled with all of the private servers that I follow, all of their links. You can go have fun, find out about new, exciting servers to play on, some that you've maybe never heard before. So, with that in mind, I will see you guys next time.